Alright. Hey, what's up guys? Chills here, welcome back to more Fate Grand Order LB5-2 Olympus. Or just LB5 in general. Last time we were able to escape from the Dioscuri and Talos, and other gods, because of the help of some mysterious strangers. And now we're at the God Destroyer Alliance base, and we're about to learn what exactly happened to the servants who were meant to be here. Hopefully we find that out. Well, probably. Yeah, I updated it first thing after yesterday. Like, as soon as I ended stream, I updated it. I was like, okay, this can't keep happening. But yeah, no, we should be good, unless it wasn't the fact that OBS was months out of date. If it happens again, then I don't fucking know what to do at that point. But I'm just gonna hope it doesn't happen again. But we'll see. But anyway, thou art the harvest that reaps the stars. Let us see what happened to Tesla and everyone. Mordred, Helena. Gazing up at the sky. Always reminds me of my beautiful, fragile daughter. Okay? My dear daughter who was born solely to be loved. You always loved everything that grew on the land. You always had such a bright smile on your face. I always hoped that one day you would meet someone wonderful, fall in love, and have a dear child of your own who looked just like you. Is this Demeter reminiscing upon Persephone? Then that child would one day have a child of their own, and so on and so on. Until one day the land would be covered with your descendants. Maybe not. That's what I used to dream about, and I truly believed it would happen. But now... why? Why? Why did you leave the land that day? Oh. Seeking adventure? Who knows? Great Orbital Shrine, Olympia Dodona. Hanging Perimeter Gardens. The birds are chirping merrily again today. They sing the praises of Olympus. They sing of how happy they are to be here amongst its glorious skies, bountiful harvests, and beautiful vistas. And yet, my heart sits ill at ease. Sounds like you've got it rough too, hon. You're the queen, right? In my world's version of Greek mythology, I remember Zeus falling in love with a human queen at one point. But they say you fused with Zeus's first wife, Hera. Doesn't that feel like sharing a body with your mother-in-law? How can you stand it? And on top of that, you're even acting as his priestess. I guess Zeus must really be attached to you. By the way, just out of curiosity, how does this lost spell feel about women's rights? During the Olympia, Lady Hera suffered a grave wound, and her original mechanical body was destroyed. But Zeus was reluctant to lose his beloved queen forever. By fusing her remnants with me, a heroic spirit from proper human history, he was able to prolong both of our lives. Okay. Interesting. I thought you would have been like the Europa from this lost spell, but no, your proper human history, Europa. Fascinating.
Such is the depth of his love for us. I see. Thank you for worrying about me, Pepe. Now, if you wouldn't mind, I was hoping to ask you about the Chaldeans. How could I say no to that? Especially after you've so kindly been putting me up in your lovely palace. Or shrine. Oh, what's this? Are you two having a nice chat?
Oh, Pepe found a new group to have girl talk with. God, I hate the gloves. Get rid of the gloves, and I actually quite like this Demeter design, but oh my god, these things are so...
Any friend of Kirshtaria Bodheim's a friend of Zeus's. Please make yourself at home. Why, thank you. I don't mind if I do then. I must applaud your initiative, Queen Europa. Lady Demeter.
I would never have thought to do something so dreadful as gathering information on Chaldea and proper human history.
What's this all about? No, wait, let me guess.
Is it because you feel responsible for letting them get away yesterday? Mayhaps?
Yes, that's right.
I feel terrible about not being able to fulfill Lord Zeus's revelation.
Oh, you poor thing. You really are quite the worrywart, aren't you? You don't have to worry about things like this. Just let myself and the other gods take care of it. You may have assimilated with Lady Hera, but you're still only a demigod. Zeus would never want you pushing yourself beyond your limits. All you need to do is sit and smile
By the flowers, like any young maiden your age. Kind of. What's the word I'm looking for? Kind of, infantilizing, I guess. But I suppose the gods who are thousands of years old, I guess any human, you know, yeah, okay, yeah, okay.
Have you met my daughter Persephone yet?
I would just love to see you two become friends. Okay, so Persephone does exist here.
Lady Demeter.
I'm afraid Persephone is...
A servant, was it?
Oh. Or maybe not. Maybe she just embraced proper human history Persephone as her daughter.
Heroes who were inscribed in humanity upon their death, and now materialize as heroic spirits. What a truly awful procedure. I can scarcely think of anything more dreadful. Everyone knows humans should only be born from their mothers.
Say I have a wonderful idea, Europa. Okay. So, Demeter... Okay. Well, I was already thinking about it, but when we get to her being available in NA in like 21 months or whatever it'll be, she's going on the list of people to summon. Or try to summon at least.
You should think of me as your mother now. It's quite alright, Europa.
There's no need to be polite.
I'm the goddess of the land, and the land has always been mother to all things. Mother of the land, huh? That sounds like Gaia. In the Greek mythology I know, she was the mother of the earth, the gods, and everything else under the sun. She was also married to Uranus, the first god of the heavens.
First there was chaos,
Then Gaia, the land, came forth and gave birth to everything. The land has always been a mother. That's how it's supposed to be. And the sea. The sea was
Also a mother. Or at least it was supposed to be. But what happened? Why is it not mother anymore?
The sea? I didn't sense any sort of femininity from the late god of the sea in Atlantis. Maybe that refers to the Oceanids, the daughters of the sea. T? Oh, Pepe, human sage. That isn't what I mean.
What do you mean then?
I suppose it might be difficult for you to understand. But all the same, I'm certain that the sea was also once a mother.
I think the mother sea would be T. Yeah, I was just thinking that. Oh, interesting. Okay. For a 2-arrow section, I thought that would take longer. Oh, okay. This arrow is probably going to be like half hour, huh? This one will probably be like half hour long.
A magical energy signal is making its way toward the ship. It's kind of faint, but I'd recognize this pattern anywhere.
What?
It's a servant.
Hopefully, it's, our friends coming to retrieve you.
Damn it, now what do we do? We don't have anyone here who can fight right now.
Calm down, Manuel. Have you tried a more thorough scan yet?
It's Mounier. What, now you can't even remember the food theme anymore?
I guess not.
But anyway, good idea. I'll run a thorough scan right now.
Hang on, I gotta just checking something. Hang on, I gotta adjust something. When I updated OBS, it like changed stuff. And I don't like it. Oh god, how do I even... Okay, hang on. Filters. Oh, they really messed up my settings. Okay, that'll have to do.
But anyway, good idea. I'll run a thorough scan right now. Easy there, guys. Just keep it together. I already scanned this servant myself, and there's nothing to worry about.
Oh?
Leonardo.
Technical advisor, what are you thinking? You're supposed to be in recovery.
Hey, what's the big idea? You know I prefer to be called Da Vinci. Anyway, don't worry about me. My recovery is still coming along fine. Holmes was nice enough to set things up for me so I could connect my consciousness to the border's core from the recovery pod.
That's handy. That said, the most I can do right now is activate the systems that don't need the magical reactors to be rebooted.
So you're not overexerting yourself then?
Of course not. I'm still making my health my first priority. Isn't that what your family's homunculus used to do too?
Yes, it is. Ruthlessly so, in fact. Never mind that now. What did the scan tell us?
Oh right, the magical energy signal. Well, like I said, there's nothing to worry about. Their spirit origin is super high quality. But I can also tell from their low magical energy levels that they're in pretty bad shape. So it looks like a really high-end heroic spirit, one with a spirit origin that's on par with the divine spirit.
Uh-huh.
It has drifted here, probably from Atlantis. Drifted? So what, you're saying they got sucked into the Great Pit's whirlpool? And they've been sort of floating around this area ever since Instead of falling straight down? They've probably got some kind of passive ability that lets them move around like this even when they're adrift.
Then we need to make a calm, level-headed decision. So we have a powerful divine spirit level servant drifting about in a weakened state from Atlantis. Huh? Now what is it?
Relax, old man. Now just our new message sound. Looks like we've got a bunch of data from the Wandering Sea. The readme is a video file. Now I'll put it up on the main monitor. Firstly, I want to congratulate all of you on making it to Olympus. Now that you've made it this far, I wish you success in cutting down the Tree of Emptiness. Thanks.
But we'll try our best.
I've been going over all the data you sent me, and it's proven extremely useful.
Thanks to what you learned by going up against the machine gods Artemis and Poseidon.
We now know we can expect that the other gods of Olympus are similarly powerful mechanical beings with combat abilities beyond human ken. And above all, we've gained information from the ultimate weapon that Hephaestus designed and forged out of Achilles' divine construct armor. The longbow Orion used to shoot down Artemis. That piece of data turned out to be the final key.
The final key?
Key to what?
This is the key that will give humans the means to bring down gods. The last hope we have of fighting back against these literal Deus Ex Machina.
I hope you're right. Oh damn, that really was short. Huh, no complaints there. Interesting. We're getting a chest out of section 5. Okay. Fascinating. Also that, wandering, heroic spirit, or adrift heroic spirit's definitely gonna come into play. Faux show. I guess we're seeing the... Yeah, we're seeing what happened.
The skyscrapers are collapsing. Damn the Olympian gods. Not even my defenses can stand in the face of their assault. I better break through every one of our defensive lines. Gah! Now assemble my mass-produced mechanical soldiers. It's up to you to hold the last line of defense. Let them hear your roar, men. Even if we should vanish here today, the flag of freedom will still fly strong. Farewell, fellow Chaldeans. The rest is up to you now.
I finished the first 2 summoning positions. I'm so close to finishing more. We just don't have enough time. If we only had a few more minutes, I could have at least finished the 3rd and 4th.
I'm sorry, lady. If nothing else, we should have at least made sure you could escape. Edison's group has been fighting admirably. They clearly learned much from their experiences in the singularities.
Okay, so these servants who were summoned just by the counterforce made sure it summoned, like, all of our, like, servants we'd met in the past with memories. It's like, yeah, you know what? We should probably give them extra reason to want to help the Chaldeans. So we'll make sure they remember those experiences.
I'm afraid this is as far as we go. We are truly, utterly defeated. The gods' lone strike will surely demolish the entire sector before we can deal them even a single blow.
Maybe we threw caution to the wind too soon. Or maybe we never had any chance of winning at all. Damn it. damn it. Mechanical Olympian gods, huh?
I mean, obviously that was the case with Jason, but I find it interesting that he wasn't like the only one.
Ah, they're the real deal. So they might even know something about Mahatma.
I know, but remember, they are the enemy of all proper human history. There may well be ships across the Sea of Stars to come here, my wise and beautiful Helena. But they are absolutely not the stars you looked up to.
Thank you, Mr. Tesla. You're very kind.
It's the truth, lady. Hear me, gods. This world does not belong to you. You were consigned to the trash heap of proper human history long ago. You aren't protecting anything. You only suffocate humanity with your enduring tyranny. Humanity will never be your pets or plaything.
What were you saying? What was that? I could have sworn you were saying something there, Tesla. Okay. Well, R.I.P. I think they just got squashed. You know, they did their best, and that's all that matters. Well, this seems like a nice-ish room. That you, Mash? Mashu?
Good morning. Good you already up.
I hope you don't mind if I come in. Come on in. Come on down to the Olive Garden.
Good morning, Senpai.
Fo?
Did you sleep well last night?
Are you okay, Senpai? You look pale. Yeah, no, we just watched, a bunch of servants get brutally murdered while trying to secure, a forward position for us. You know, they, not good. I just had an awful nightmare. Yeah. Mash?
Senpai.
As a matter of fact, I had a bad dream myself. I think it's probably because we heard that all the heroic spirits that came to Olympus from Atlantis were
Wiped out.
so much for finding other heroic spirits to join us. Yeah. Yeah. Still, they did leave this hidden base for us. It should be more than functional enough for our purposes. And Musashi's here to help too, so it hasn't been a complete loss. Yeah.
Now that we've settled in here, we should report back to Director Gordolf.
Our comms situation still hasn't improved, but at least we might not have so much interference down here thanks to the difference in atmospheric magical energy levels. Fo. Thanks, Fo. You are the squirrel. Cat, lion, hybrid thing.
Oh! Come on, Senpai. Musashi and Holmes are waiting for you. Morning, Ritsuka. Did you sleep well last night? Oh, if you're hungry, there's breakfast to be had over there. I'll say this about Olympus. The food here is yummy. I visited lots of different worlds back when I was alive, and as food goes, this place is easily in the top 5. That's good for us, I suppose. Alright. Whoops. Must mean civilization here has flourished to the point they can really focus on things like refining their cuisine. It's just too bad they apparently never got around to inventing udon. Yeah. You've do love udon, don't you, Musashi? So do I. Oh, a fellow udon lover. Right. You just can't beat that texture. It's true the way the noodles, It's true the way the noodles glide across your tongue while being delightfully chewy all at the same time always makes me end up eating more than I intended. Oh yeah, I know. Oh yeah. I know servants don't technically need to sleep or eat, but just because we can go without both doesn't mean we should if you ask me. Getting good rest helps you feel centered and focused, and a good meal just makes you straight up happy. Yeah. I mean, since we materialized them with emotions and all, it'd be a waste to neglect them. Yeah, I guess having a happy servant is a good way to make sure they don't get annoyed with you and stab you in the back. In a normal Holy Grail war, anyway. Here, I don't think we'd have that much of a concern about it, but I'm glad to see you're in good spirits, Musashi. You bet I am. I'm still me no matter where I go or what I do. Sure, things might be kind of depressing lately, but in general, I like to smile my way through life. That's the kind of gal I was in life, and it's who I am today. Fo? Oh, morning to you too, Fo. So now that we've had a chance to slow down and catch our breath, I think it's a good time to tell you what I've been up to since we last saw each other in Russia. Yeah, fill me in. First, just so we're all on the same page, I was able to meet up with you guys in Russia because of my, unique constitution. Yeah. See, I was able to wander into neighboring worlds in life. I've always thought of it as Lady Canon's guidance, though recently I learned it's actually called drifting. So I think what happened was that I ended up drifting right before the world was wiped clean. When I drifted back a moment later, there was nothing left but bleached white ground everywhere I looked. At the time, I thought I'd ended up on some blank slate parallel world somewhere. But after wandering around for a while, I drifted right into the snowy fields of the Russian Lost Belt. You with me so far? Yeah? I think so, but something doesn't quite add up. Right, back at Chaldea, your drift was recorded as something similar in nature to a phase shift. So my understanding was that you could only drift to different time periods in parallel worlds. Yep. As a rule, my drifts always put me in different worlds, never in the same one I drifted from. Before, if I wanted to drift back to the same world as all of you guys, I'd basically have to keep drifting between different worlds and hope I'd eventually get lucky. But when I drifted out of Russia, I found myself face to face with the same bleached white earth of 2020. I tried a few more drifts after that, and they all turned out the same way. While I didn't always end up in the same location, I did always end up in the same world and time period. A bit surprising at first, but I realized it basically gained a superpower. The ability to teleport across long distances. Seems kinda OP. From there, I spent my days wandering around, fighting off weird creatures, and testing how much I could control my new ability. Then one day...
Watch yourself, woman. Colliding with another teleporter is unheard of, even in the Magecraft world.
I ran into this guy who was kind of arrogant, but
Basically alright. And we ended up traveling together for a while. He turned out to know a ton about all kinds of things. Like he knew what kind of divine power my drift uses. And what happened to you guys after Russia. I'm not sure there was anything he didn't know.
There's probably something. You
Can't know everything, right? That'd be like omniscience, almost. Anyway, he pretty much caught me up on the whole situation. How kind of him. So I decided to sneak into the Atlantic Lost Belt ahead of you guys and wait for you. Oh,
I even managed to drift into Olympus easy peasy. They never even knew I was here. Unfortunately, my drift only works on me, so I couldn't bring Robed Guy or any other heroic spirits along.
Yeah, that's a shame.
They're probably gonna need more help besides just me. Should we spend more time looking for other servants?
No need. Circumstances being what they are, we can be assured that a grand servant will appear in the Atlantic Lost Belt. Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't get to bring him along to Olympus, so we're kinda boned when you think about it like that. That servant will be a much more powerful ally than you could ever hope to be.
Rude?
That being said,
Yeah?
they'll need you as well. If you want to come along, I can take you as far as the Atlantic Lost Belt, but no farther. Humph. The counterforce truly is nothing if not meticulous, meandering, and mean-spirited.
Yeah, no,
Counterforce is kind of a... I mean, it's weird calling a... like, metaphysical... almost borderline godlike being... What did you call it? A being? I guess more... It's more of a mechanism than a being, but it's kind of a dick. So basically, your self-warping powers really came through. Pretty much, yeah.
Yep, I always used to think of this tendency to drift as a problem, so I'm glad it turned out to actually be useful for once. So in exchange for no longer being able to race shift to different time periods and parallel worlds, you're now essentially able to freely teleport, at least to a certain extent. It's very impressive you've been able to make your way into Lost Belts without embarking on a zero sail. Yep. I'm not really sure how it works, myself, but that all sounds right. So in summary, your drift ability involved jumping into the rift between worlds, then emerging into another world. I think it's safe to assume that it still works that same way, since that would explain how you were able to get past the Lost Belt storm walls. The idea is that you're jumping into a higher dimension, then falling back down to a lower one. The only difference is that before you could fall down to any number of possible destinations. But now you're only falling back to this world, which is why you always emerge somewhere here. Yeah, exactly. Guess I can't really call it drifting anymore then, can I? Fo.
One last thing. Who is this robed guy you met? I think you know already, Ritsuka.
I'd like to know that too. Is he the robed figure we've heard rumors about in the other Lost Belts? The one who claims to be from Chaldea?
Sorry, but I can't answer that. He made me promise not to. That in itself is pretty much an answer. And I still owe him for giving me food and shelter for a night, so I can't go back on my word.
I see.
At least we know he helped you, Musashi. And that's good enough for us, right? Right, Mash?
Right. He did, didn't he? We may not know who he is, but we do know he sent you here to help us. And if it's thanks to him that we were reunited, he must be...
He's... Yeah, he's probably on Chaldea's side. Probably. Yeah, maybe? I mean, it'd be great if that turned out to be the case.
Anyway, Ritsuka and Mash, there's something I want you to keep in mind. Yes, the heroic spirits who came here from Atlantis may all be gone now. But you still had allies here willing to risk their lives for you.
True.
So while it might feel like you're fighting all on your own sometimes, you're not. You may not be able to see it, but your homeworld of proper human history is still here to back you up.
Yeah, there's always been someone around to help us.
Hearing you say that's all the reassurance I need to know you'll be alright. Fo. Foe? I see you're raring to go too, Foe. That's a spirit. Ah, you're right. Motivation is the key to success.
And we're gonna need all the motivation we can get so we can settle things once and for all.
Does singing out loud scare you? Don't worry, we can do this.
You guys already took out 2 of the gods. True. But we only managed to do that because we had so many servants helping us. Yeah, one of them being Grand.
Not to mention they had all enhanced their spirit origins
using the Olympian god's Theos Clarinomia.
On top of all that, they had to risk everything they had, and even then we were only just able to eke out a victor.
Humph. This isn't good, Mash. You've been bit by the cowardice bug.
Oh?
Okay. Not literally, okay, Mash, please. She's not being literal.
A cowardice bug?
Bugs like that need to be shaken off as soon as possible. Maybe she knew it wasn't literal, but... So on that note, go ahead and organize... sparring time. Or next up, Mash. Huh? Go on. No need to be modest. Huh? You know we only just got up, right? Luckily, you can shake off the cowardice bug pretty easily just by getting in some exercise. Which means you're doing this too. Whether you like it or not. That goes for you too, Mr. Detective. Don't think I don't see you watching over there.
Good grief.
It would seem Eastern Samurai intuition, especially at a Sword Saint's level, is a frightening thing indeed.
Holmes, should you be up and about yet? Oh yes, I'm quite alright, Miss Curulite. In fact, I feel even lighter on my feet now than I did before we left the border.
That's good. As far as I can tell, I've recovered to the point that I may indeed engage in hand-to-hand combat once again.
These medical nanomachines are truly marvelous things.
Yeah. You found a Demeter Clarinomia here too?
Correct. These Theos Clarinomia, a collective mass of microscopic authority, are named after Demeter, one of the goddesses of Greek mythology. Demeter is the goddess of fertility, and the deity who cultivates ambrosia, a food which grants them mortality. According to the mythology of proper human history, she's best known for the tale of her beloved daughter's abduction. Persephone was abducted by Hades and made the queen of the underworld, despite Demeter's desperate attempts to bring her back to Olympus. Demeter Clarinomia. I remember seeing it once back in Atlantis, but... True. The Clarinomia that were being kept there... that were being kept here are far more effective than the Clarinomia we saw in Atlantis.
Yeah, I thought it was just that only immortals could eat ambrosia or drink ambrosia without, like, imploding. Oh.
If we could bring some back with us to study later, I have no doubt we could. Okay, no more questions.
It's time for morning training. Okay.
Don't worry, Ritsuka. You can have breakfast as soon as it's over. Senpai?
Looks like there's no getting out of it.
Right, understood.
This morning training seems like it will be very different from the simulator training I'm used to, but I'll do my best to adjust.
Very well, Miss Miyamoto. If you insist. But be warned.
Baritsu is a highly versatile martial art.
If you think your katana alone I will grant you an easy victory. I would advise you to reconsider your tactics. If he says that Ambrosia is often doing his... Oh. I swear I remember reading something about how only gods can eat or drink ambrosia, because... I don't know. I guess it's not. Okay. I would advise you to reconsider your tactics. Oh, I see somebody remembered to bring their trash talk. Okay guys, come at me whenever you like. My void sword is ready and waiting. I don't want to fight a void sword. Gulp. Alright. See, I could bring Holmes. I could. Or... Hang on, let me, there we go. That's better. Much better. Please stop mashing. Mash. Alright. Locusta, you're out. There we go. To battle. If it's just Musashi, we shouldn't need to set up a whole proper party, right? Surely she's not gonna have like 1,000,000 health, right? That'd be crazy. Yeah, we're fine.
さてギャンブルだ。得意だけどまずは様子見といこう。
剣を見せよ。
Right.
さてカウンティングオーバー。
Let's just do some charge. Yeah. But anyway, this one in the middle of a battle.
おっと、おっと。
May as well. Mention. Little Harley tomorrow. Ow. Yeah, I think while Willem Heart's going on though, Olympus will be fully on hold for a time.
Relax, relax.
Maybe I should use Garden of Avalon. Get that healing. Ah, well. Okay. That was just a warm up? Oh, Musashi. You're such a kidder. Also, you're not gonna get an opportunity to use your Noble Phantasm. Or maybe you will. I thought I'd do a little bit more. Maybe I spoke too soon. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to eat a Noble Phantasm. I should have popped Mash's invincibility. Alright. That wouldn't have mattered. She went after Merlin. Sorry, Merlin. Sacrifices had to be made. Alright. Finish her. There we go. I remember reading it. I thought we were gonna most of it had a piece of God's system and access to it. Yeah, I don't know. like I mentioned before, I think sometimes I like mix up things that like were in like the Percy Jackson books, which you know obviously aren't quite accurate in some regards. But it's hard for me to remember what was from that and what's and what was actual mythology. It's been so long since I read either. So it's like also interesting they didn't have a post-battle dialogue. They're just saving it for the next node. Interesting. Fascinating.
Food. I know, right?
Food always tastes even better after a good workout. I think Olympian cuisine might be my new favorite food.
I agree. At first glance, it doesn't appear to be anything special. There's bread, ham, salad, milk.
The same kind of staples we've seen in all sorts of different times and places.
And yet, for some reason, I can't put my finger on. Everything here tastes completely different.
Well, maybe not completely different. I mean, the bread is still bread. The ham is still ham, the milk is still milk, and so on.
But from the moment you first take a bite, you can sense the flavor is changing at least 3 times.
I think if anything, that would freak me out if I'm just drinking milk and it starts tasting differently every couple seconds. I don't know how I'd feel about that. I wouldn't.
And every single one of them is a breathtaking culinary experience.
I know exactly what you mean. I had the same reaction the first time I went around sampling the local cuisine. Yeah, wait, you don't have a mystic code to disguise you, do you, Musashi? Didn't you get any funny looks going around dressed like you are? Well, we've still only seen a small fraction of what Olympus has to offer.
We now know that's an enormous, highly advanced city with many tall skyscrapers, that its nanomachines guarantee its populace long, healthy lives. And that its incredible prosperity, I might add, that's independent of any sort of currency, enables its people to devote themselves to art and academia, thereby further enriching its culture, with no need for any kind of manual labor whatsoever. Their daily lives are happy affairs, praising the gods with bright smiles on their faces. War and combat are simply unknown to the people of Olympus. Well, except for where we are concerned.
It honestly does give me heavy, LB3 China vibes. Like the gods are just keeping the humans that are here around for the sake of, like, being praised and receiving art and poems and whatnot dedicated to them. It's very, very LB3 coded. Because remember, the people of LB3 were also happy. So it's like... No.
War and combat are simply unknown to the people of Olympus. Well, except for where we are concerned. Yes, I see. There's no better word to describe this interstellar mountainous city of Olympus than utopia. Utopia. The sort of earthly paradise people have been dreaming of since time immemorial. Even the food here is simply sublime. The Chinese Lost Belts Empire was arguably a type of utopia as well. But its ideals were only achieved by concentrating its culture on a single point. Olympus, on the other hand, shares its wealth in every sense of the word, and all without any conflict whatsoever. It really is a paradise beyond human achievement, I must say.
Even I don't know what proper human history could do against an opponent like this.
Don't say that! Fo-fo. Hey, Holmes. Yes?
Did you not notice Ritsuka and Mash suddenly just cheered up? Ooh, she's like, bruh, the fuck are you doing? Did you really have to rain on their parade like that? Besides, as far as we're concerned, it doesn't matter whether this place is a utopia, an amusement park, or a front for organized crime. You guys are from proper human history, which means this is a fight for your very survival. And the only way you guys are going to walk away from this alive is if you beat them before they beat you. Ritsuka, you're here on behalf of all proper human history. I know that isn't the kind of position you wanted and that you didn't really get a choice, but there it is. And you've got enough in your udon bowl as it is without piling on extra toppings. Interesting, turn of phrase, but okay.
Perhaps. But all that being said, Miss Miyamoto. Musashi? Thank you for worrying about us.
I really do appreciate it.
But it's okay, we need to know who it is we're up against.
We need to know who the people of the Lost Belts are, even if we're attempting to cut their world off from proper human history again. Yeah.
We already decided that it would be wrong
To avert our eyes from the effects of our actions. Yeah.
Wait, is that what this is about? Right and wrong stuff? Right and wrong and stuff? Huh?
Oh? Huh? I mean, the key to walking away from a battle alive is to keep things as simple as possible, right? So you're saying just they're the enemy and that's all we should think about? Because if that's the case, then no.
It's all well and good to worry about your opponent's circumstances, your own moral code and stuff.
But you have to be able to separate yourself from those things, because worrying about them in the heat of battle is only going to help you lose. I mean, I'm not good for much except slicing folks up like some kind of human meat grinder, you know? So any undue pressure about stuff not directly related to matters of life and death when I'm in the thick of enemy territory is the last thing I need.
I see. So your comments just now were not meant to console Miss Ritsuka and Miss Kirillite there, but rather...
Yep, I just wanted you to cut it out to make it easier for me to win. Basically, there's a time and place for everything, and that includes thinking. I mean, yes, that's obviously true, and I do get your point, but... I don't know if I'll always be able to do that, but I'll try.
Exactly.
Just take it easy. Can't win a fight if you're busy moping. I guess not. Anyway, I'm sorry again for raining on our breakfast parade. Oh man, now my soup's all cold.
No need to apologize, Miss Miyamoto. I should have known better than to voice those thoughts at that time.
Hey, yeah, you were the one who rained on this parade in the first place, not me! Now that you mention it, I suppose I was, wasn't I? Haha, I do beg your pardon. Is that all you've got to say for yourself?
Fo. Please go easy on him, Musashi.
Yeah. Oh, hello, mister. What in the world are you all doing at this hour?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disturb you.
Oh, and thank you for breakfast. It was absolutely scrumptious. Breakfast? I see, that wasn't me. The twins made it for you. Twins? Twins other than the Dioscuri? You mean the two people who rescued us yesterday? That's right, though I doubt you saw their faces at the time. Why don't you two come out already? This is your base of operations now, isn't it? Oh, so it's just random Olympians helping us? Okay.
I'm glad to hear you like the food.
Were you able to get enough rest last night? We slept great, thank you.
Oh, good. I've never had guests.
Guests before, so I wasn't sure if I did a
Good job or not.
Never mind that now, sister.
Aw.
For the time being, it looks like you're all at a point where we can talk again. I'm glad to see the Clarinomia is working. I wasn't sure if it would fit your spirit origin or not.
Indeed it did, and I'm greatly obliged for your help.
Wait, did you give me some too?
You, Clarinomia? Don't be ridiculous.
It'd be one thing if you'd undergone biomodifications like the elite soldiers, but there's no way Clarinomia could ever be compatible with a normal human from proper human history. Ah, well. That's a shame.
And all I did for you was cast a light healing spell since he didn't have more than a few scratches.
Thanks.
You're very welcome.
Oh!
Ahem. Chaldea. Visitors from proper human history. Well, I guess it doesn't really apply to all of you, but anyway. You must mean me. I'm Macarios, and this is my older sister Adele.
Okay, hi Macarios, hi Adele.
It's very nice to meet all of you.
We're the God Destroyer Alliance. Or at least what's left of it. Good to meet both of you. Okay, so how were you random Olympians recruited into this alliance, I wonder?
I'm Ashkiri Light. I'm Miyamoto Musashi, wandering servant. How about you in the hood?
I have nothing to do with those twins. Introducing myself now would only complicate things. Uh-huh. Right, sure.
You don't say.
Okay, then who's your owl friend?
Hoot hoot. Foe.
All the gods of Olympus are machines. A mechanical owl shouldn't exactly be a shock.
If you say so. Adele, Macarios. Thank you again for saving us yesterday. I don't know what we would have done without you.
Are you both from Olympus?
Yes, that's right.
We're both official Olympus residents. We have citizen numbers and permanent ration cards, and we live our lives by the grace of the gods' blessings and protection.
But the truth is... Not now, sister. Save it for later. They need to know what's going on before we tell them about us. Macarios. I said no. It's still too soon to tell them about us.
Okay, it kind of makes me suspicious, but I'll trust he has reasons.
Besides, Chaldeans, I'm sure there's something else you'd rather be talking about.
Oh! Voice recording for Chaldea, pattern B2. Alright, where to begin? For the time being, I've entered all the information we possess into the Space's data processing unit. It's embedded with a simple artificial personality program so it can answer most questions you might have. That concludes the video portion of the instructions. I'll let the artificial personality take it from here. There, I think that should do it.
Activation complete. From here on, I, the artificial intelligence, will do the talking. Yes, the picture remains the same, but get over it. The image is a recreation made by recycling existing video footage. An AI, eh? I suppose it shouldn't surprise me from one of the greatest scientific minds among the heroic spirits.
Don't forget, you can always switch to me if you don't care for the half-witted eccentric's persona.
You can also switch to me if you prefer. Eh?
I can't do anything Mahatma related though. Sorry, I can't be more help.
Anyway, hi there, Chaldeans. It's nice to meet you all. Yelena? So the servants who left these recordings for us weren't summoned to Chaldea. nor the ones that we met in any of the singularities. Rather, they're all heroic spirits from proper human history who were summoned here to this lost belt.
Okay. Interesting. So I guess Ritsuka, but in Ritsuka's, yeah, in Ritsuka's dream, they mentioned the singularities, though, which implied they did have. Okay. I don't know. Edison only materialized like that in that singularity.
Yes, good point. Thomas Edison's Lionhead spirit origin only came about in the fifth singularity. So he should still retain his memories of us, just like Jean Alter.
Okay, yeah, okay, so yeah, that line in Ritsuka's dream wasn't referring to Edison's group in general, but just Edison. Okay. Alright, let's begin with the basics of Olympus. Your opponents here are, in a word, gods.
That was me. I decided to pause the AI for a bit. Before you hear any more, I wanted to warn you guys... that you guys will probably...
You'll probably be shocked by what they have to say. It might even be enough to make you despair completely.
Some of the heroic spirits that made it here only stuck around long enough to say nobody could win against gods. So I just wanted to make sure you're ready for what comes next.
It's okay. Keep playing.
Right. We can't do anything if we don't know what we're up against. So please, Macarios, Adele, let us see the rest.
First, let's begin with the gods. The gods of Olympus, the rulers of this lost belt, are genuine deities that have existed since the Age of Gods. Those deities, including the ones you may have seen in Atlantis, are beings who came here from far, far across the universe. I trust Macarios and Adele there as well. They, like all residents of Olympus, refer to the gods as thus. Deities who came here across the Sea of Stars, the Great Ones, the descendants of primordial chaos, the great systems of prosperity who bear the Cronus crown, and of course the 12 Olympian machine gods.
The Sea of Stars. We knew these machine gods were interstellar weapons, but...
This is way bigger than I was expecting.
I mean, huh?
So, hang on. Let me just make sure I've got this straight. You said these are super ancient gods who came here across the Sea of Stars, right? So then... that would make them space aliens, right?
Faux?
Not quite. It would be entirely accurate to refer to them merely as intelligent life forms from another planet. Based on everything we now know, it seems they're more akin to machines from an extremely advanced civilization. One that may reside outside our galaxy, or at the far ends of our universe, or in an entirely different universe altogether.
Yes, it's more or less correct.
I'm surprised. I thought you guys would be a lot more taken aback. Why aren't you? Well, after Atlantis, I had a feeling they'd be something like that.
I see.
Alright, now should be a good time to proceed. Next, I have more information about the gods for you. From this point onward, I will be telling you how this lost belt differs from proper human history, and at what point in time it diverged. First of all, how did these gods originally come to be? The first gods were born from primordial chaos, and eventually the younger generation fought the Titanomachia, the first great war.
Up until this point, the world was largely the same as it was depicted in the myths of proper human history. The Titanomachia was a war between the Titans, the gods of the old generation, and Olympus, the gods of the new.
As I recall, Zeus defeated his own father, Cronus, the king of the Titans. And in doing so, he gained control over the rest of the pantheon.
The gods of Olympus won that war, and Zeus became omnipotent as a result.
Omnipotent?
And then there was a second Machia. This one took place roughly 14,000 years ago. First the White Titan. During this war, also known as the Lucas Machia, the gods of Olympus did battle with an enemy that threatened the entire world. Unfortunately, details pertaining to this event are scarce. Not only was it not recorded in proper human history, most citizens of Olympus know very little about it. However, my distinguished colleagues, what we can say for sure, is that we are certain this is the point where the Lost Belt diverged from proper human history.
Oh.
Yeah, instead of someone, whether that was a heroic spirit, Artoria, summoned from the future, or I guess technically because the throne is outside time, it wouldn't really be from the future, but you know what I mean. Yeah, so instead of her or someone wielding Excalibur, you know, whoever it was instead Zeus who took care of it, solidifying the gods as something worth worshipping. I don't know.
Foe.
The Third Great War, the Gigantomachia, a battle against the enormous Gigantes that took place about 3,500 years ago, serves as further evidence of that divergence. In proper human history, this Machia was the second and final great war of Greek mythology. In diversion from proper human history, the gods of Olympus, aided by human heroes, eventually succeeded at vanquishing the mighty Gigantes. I think the great hero Heracles even played a part, if I'm not mistaken. But, in this lost belt, the gods eradicated every last Gigant in an instant. How did they accomplish such a feat? By
preserving the machine god bodies, which in proper human history had long since faded away, I presume.
Exactly. The Olympian gods used their original machine god bodies to obliterate the Gigantes all at once. At least, that is our working theory. In proper human history, the gods' machine bodies were lost long ago. But here in this lost belt, the gods are somehow able to retain them. The result is the very Atlantic lost belt in which we now find ourselves. A world ruled by machine gods who still possess their once lost mechanical bodies.
So then, in proper human history, the gods of Olympus were meant to lose their machine bodies between 14,000 and 3,500 years ago? Ah, so it would seem. But here the gods remained alive and well. And as long as these mechanical gods from beyond our universe have their original bodies, they're not even affected by the deterioration of the Age of Gods that was meant to occur.
Well, it seems like some of them have their... are using their, sort of human-looking bodies currently. But maybe they can go back and forth. That brings us to the fourth and final Machia. As with the second, this one also has no equivalent in proper human history. It is peculiar to this lost belt. A few thousand years ago, the gods of Olympus split into two factions. Their conflict revolved around what to do about humans, whether to rule over them or to coexist alongside them. This schism led to a fierce disagreement between the gods.
Yeah.
Zeus, Demeter, Aphrodite, Hera, and Artemis wanted to rule. Which again, is still interesting to me. Like, Demeter and Artemis, I feel like wouldn't want to rule over. That seems odd. Well, Athena, Hades, Poseidon, Apollo, Hestia, Ares, and Hephaestus wanted to coexist. And Ares wanting to coexist is also weird. Like, I don't know. Also, I do find it interesting how, which I guess it makes sense, given when things diverged, but that Fate uses, Hestia as the 12th Olympian. Because aren't there some stories that Dionysus is the 12th Olympian, and then there's some where it's people depicted as like a weird feud thing? Well, a feud from Dionysus's perspective anyway. Whereas Hestia's like, I don't give a shit. take the spot. I don't care. We believe Poseidon initially sided with the rulers. Also, yeah, wait, I didn't even catch that. Yeah, Poseidon. Okay. Initially sided with the rulers, but he eventually ended up defecting to the other faction. But then he rejoined the side of rulers? Gods on each side enlisted loyal lesser gods as their disagreement devolved into a full-blown war. This battle went on to be called the Olympia, or the Great War of Olympus as it's known in Atlantis. Both sides fought fiercely, and the remains of the mechanical gods who were killed fell to Atlantis, where they formed islands. In the end, the faction supporting rule over humans was victorious, and the opposition survivors were punished. For example, Poseidon, the sea god. His divine core was rewritten, reducing him to little more than an automated defense unit to protect the Great Pit. Damn, now I kind of feel bad for Poseidon. And that brings us to today. The gods who emerged triumphant in all four Machia continue to rule this lost belt, with the city of Olympus as their capital. Today there are 5 gods who reside within Olympia, Dodona, the great orbital shrine that makes up the center of the city. Zeus, the omnipotent god of the heavens. Europa, the divine queen who fused with the goddess Hera. Demeter, the goddess of the land. Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty. And finally the Dioscuri, the ancient twin gods.
The Dioscuri. Not now, Macarios. Not now.
Technically, the twin gods of Dioscuri are a divine spirit, which makes them neither living gods nor mechanical ones. They died once and were transformed into a divine spirit. Who killed them, you ask? I wish you could say it was the God Destroyer Alliance, but it wasn't. No, their killer was the Cryptor Kishtaria Wodime. Oh. Interesting. Okay, that changes what I thought happened there. I thought when Kishtaria came here and he summoned servants, he was just able to summon like multiple sets. or just multiple servants in general, and that the Dioscuri happened to be one, or I guess some of them, because there's two of them technically, but they're ones, yeah. And they were like, "Oh shit, we're down for the rule of the gods and working with our alternate history's father." But no, it's he showed up, killed this history's Dioscuri to like flex his power, I guess, and be like, "Hey, you don't want to fuck with me." And then like re-summoned them, I suppose. Also, this. Oh yeah, you're right. I didn't even think. Yeah, I always forget that Hades isn't one of the Olympians, because yeah, he gets supremely fucked over. He's such a major god that it slips my mind sometimes. I was like, oh yeah, Hades, okay, yeah. But yeah, right, yeah. Man. Hades always getting the short end. Well, except here, I suppose, but he's also now dead, so I guess he's still got the short end of the stick. Was the cryptor Kishtaria Wodheim.
Huh?
A human mage, killed a god? After that, Kishtaria formed a contract with the Dioscuri, making them his servant. To be clear, he did not summon their divine spirit from the Throne of Heroes. He formed a contract with genuine gods after they had been killed, and reduced to a divine spirit. The Dioscuri are not among of the 12 Olympians, but they are no mere lesser god either. They are one of the ancient gods who accepted Zeus as the supreme being. To be precise, they are a divinity that's been around since before the Gigantomachia. From what we've been able to gather, they joined the pantheon by imbibing of Zeus's divine blood, his Kleronomia. They are now considered children of Zeus, with standing equal to Apollo in his glory days. And Kishtaria Wodheim managed to kill them. Hard to believe, isn't it? Ha ha ha! If only it really was as bad a joke as it sounds.
They should have just stayed dead. Them a divine spirit? What a load of crap. The Dioscuri are deranged. They don't deserve to be spirits, let alone gods. Huh? Oh, please forgive my brother. He swore an oath to the late Athena that he would one day take revenge on the twin gods. Oh. Interesting. Like, I know the Olympians live a long time, but you still at least looked young enough that I kind of assumed you two were born after the other gods were killed in the Olympia-Machia. It's not. For their murder of our 100-odd fellow Alliance members. Wait. Maybe Athena was one of the ones that survived and was being punished? And she was able to, like... That would explain why there's a mechanical owl here. Maybe part of her consciousness is in Minerva the Owl? Maybe? Like whatever could be salvaged of it? The Dioscuri are bloodthirsty maniacs. Death incarnate, human killers. They killed almost all of the humans who joined the God Destroyer Alliance. There are only a few members left now, including us.
Must have been really hard for you.
Oh, well, Chaldeans, why are you acting like that? Aren't you scared?
We're up against murderous gods. Gods who actually enjoy going out of their way to slaughter people.
And if that isn't bad enough, there's another guy out there strong enough to make them his flunkies.
Yeah, we've seen his power firsthand. He's, pretty intimidating.
Just the idea that you might have any chance of beating them is absurd. Yeah, it's absurd. We know some of the heroic spirits gave up and walked away when they found out how the Gigantomachia ended. So what about you guys? What's your deal? Does the fact that you guys aren't more phased mean your world, proper human history, is even more messed up than ours?
Not really.
Stop that, Macarios.
That's no way to speak to people we've just met.
Oh.
Nah, he's fine.
Sorry everyone. I got a little out of hand there. But please, it's fine.
Really, I don't blame you for being taken aback.
We've encountered so many different
Threats by now that I suppose our reactions must seem strange.
gods from another universe.
Mechanical gods with frightening powers.
Twin gods who enjoy taking lives. Your Staria who's strong enough to make those gods his servants. Every last one of them is a tremendous threat.
Threats that we may very well not be able to deal with. Wow, way to have confidence there, Mash. And these revelations are shocking for us. It's tempting to despair in the face of such overwhelming odds. But
all that being said,
we're just gonna do the best we can.
Gonna do the best you can? That's it?
Are you kidding me? You know, Ritsuka, I honestly can't tell if you're being arrogant or modest.
Okay, I think I get it now. Yeah, that's it. I get what you guys are like now.
You're just how Edison said you'd be.
He was right after all.
So you Chaldeans really are just a pack of weirdos, huh? Yeah, kinda.
Well, nothing wrong with that. You convinced me. I like you guys.
Fo-fo!
So you get it now, huh?
That's great. They really are weirdos, aren't they? What? I mean, you're not wrong, but like, huh? You gotta call us weirdos to our face, huh? So fucked up.
Fo! What the hell are you?
Don't jump on us. What are you, some kind of squirrel? Look, Macarios, I think he likes you.
Fo-fo! Eek! Hey, get away from my sister.
Foe. Always cuddling up to women. You sneaky bastard foe. I know what you're up to. I know what you are. Shaking my head. Weirdos, huh? Yeah, that's the right way to think about them, Macarios. They're all hopeless weirdos. That sounds like you know us. That's been the case in every other Lost Belt so far, too. Though it's not to say that means they'll be able to accomplish the same thing here.
What are you talking about? You're only here because of the collaborator sent you, right? So where do you get off acting like you know so much about Chaldea? A collaborator?
That's what we call a person who's been so kindly aiding our God Destroyer alliance. We don't know their true identity either, but they've been a big help to us, especially with procuring supplies for combat. We were told that the collaborator sent this hooded man here to help us, but...
Say you in the hood?
You are on our side, right? Questionable. Of course. I am for now, at least, otherwise I would have let the gods do what they wanted with you. I'm an acquaintance of this collaborator you speak of, and on second thought, that's enough for now. Hmm. Obviously, don't say anything to confirm it, but I feel like this collaborator they're talking about might be Muramasa. Because it would make sense how he was able to supply them weapons. Or supplies for combat in any way. Because, that's, making up weapons and whatnot is his thing. Then I don't know who this would be. I doubt it'd be Kotomine. Or Rasputin, whatever you want to call him. I don't know who else he would know here. I'm an acquaintance of this collaborator you speak of, and on second thought, that's enough for now.
Excuse me, I apologize if I'm way off the mark with this, but are you?
Oh, Caddick, of course. Right, because, yeah, he was planning to sneak around and... Right. That makes sense, because, yeah, he was sneaking around and was like, I'm gonna find out what you're up to, Kashtaria. Something fucky is going on here.
Caddick Zemlubis.
Caddick?
I'll spare you the details of this particular exercise in deduction, but suffice to say I am something of an expert when it comes to disguises. Well, Sir Hood, did we get it right?
See, I wish this was more of a surprise, but the roadmap, I'll show it when we're out of this arrow, but I kind of figured Caddick would end up helping us at some point. Because the roadmap image on the, scrolling thing in, the main menu had Caddick in a different outfit. And I was like... That's odd.
Caddick. Foe?
What, do you guys know each other or something?
Oh my.
Does this mean you're part of Chaldea too? Something like that.
Me? Part of Chaldea? You gotta be. Forget it. Just hell no. Damn it. Holmes, I get it. Holmes, I get, but how the actual hell did you see through my disguise mash? I was using a disguise spell and everything. I'm sorry.
Whoa. What are you apologizing for? Not like you did anything wrong.
Yeah, fair enough.
Caddick, you saved our lives.
Saved you? I only bailed you out because it would have been a waste to let you die back there.
Yeah, you say whatever you want, buddy.
As far as I'm concerned, you're nothing more than pawns that can use to throw Olympus off balance, just like you did in Russia. So I'm gonna use you guys to further my own agenda. That's the only reason I bailed you out. It's not like you even have a snowball's chance in hell of winning here anyway. Between Zeus, Wodaim, and the foreign gods' alter egos, you guys are hilariously outclassed.
And we'll see.
And that's why I don't have to bother trying to kill you myself.
Oh. Caddick, as a former member of Team A myself, I'm
not part of Team A anymore. I'm a cryptor now. Hell, maybe I'm not even that anymore.
Does this mean you're not acting with or on behalf of the cryptus here, Caddick Zemlubis?
Hell no, I don't have the slightest idea what I'm thinking. He went out of his way to have Rasputin get me, but he never told me why. He never told me why.
You may have lost your Russian lost belt, but that doesn't mean you need to enter another crypto's service. You can keep your serious light too. You're a free man, Caddick. All I want you to do in this Atlantic Lost Belt is whatever you see fit.
Is that your idea of a joke? Because if not, it doesn't make any sense. Aren't you the one who sent Rasputin to get me off the Shadow Border?
That was entirely the priest's decision. I have no right to give the foreign god's disciples orders. As for why he saved you, your guess is as good as mine. Perhaps he only wished to prevent you from leaking information.
Yeah, well, there's not much I could have told them besides which cryptor was where. None of us have any idea what the trees of emptiness are actually made of, or who the foreign god really is after all.
Of course not. The foreign god couldn't care less about any of you after all. The foreign god isn't going to tell you anything, nor do they expect anything from you. Damn, but nice pep talk. They couldn't care less if you lived or died. Whereas the same cannot be said for me, as my every action carries the weight of the grandest expectations.
Is that so? Well, excuse the hell out of me for being a third-rate mage.
I don't think that's what he meant. I think he just meant that, you know, he himself was the only one the foreign god ever intended to revive just in general. And so you coming along was merely a bonus. But the only one who knew that was, or is now dead, so you know.
Huh, that's weird. What was that long silence about?
It's fine, Caddick. Just get some rest for now. We won't have to worry about Chaldea for the time being. Canis has told me they've made their way to Scandinavia. There's nothing we can do about them from here. So my only orders for you are to go about and see Olympus for yourself.
And you actually think I can live up to your expectations? Even after the total mess of things I made in Russia?
I'm not the one who can decide whether or not you'll do that, Caddick. You are. You know, Kishtaria seemed like he was being quite nice. I'm surprised you felt so disrespected by it.
He might as well not have told me anything at all, for all the difference it would have made. So now I'm doing whatever the hell I want, just like he asked. That's part of why I'm here. I'm gonna uncover the truth behind Zeus and what Wodam's really thinking.
Oh? And what do you mean by that last part?
I don't actually care what's going on in that head of his.
But it's not like I've got anything else to do.
So I'm gonna show that stuck-up aristocrat that things aren't always gonna go his way.
Yeah. We'll do our best to make sure he doesn't get his way, but yeah.
Oh, what's this now? Goodness, it's been so long since I've seen your face in person.
I think the last time must have been back then. When you tore those poor Dioscuri twins apart.
Kishtaria Wodime.
Good day, Lady Demeter, goddess of the land. Indeed, it has been a long time, hasn't it? It seems your memory partition is functioning properly, at least in regards to me.
Oh my, how terrifying.
That sounds as though you could destroy our true Aletheia bodies whenever you like.
Kishtaria Wodime.
A dreadful human capable of killing us single-handedly. You're quite the problem child, aren't you? It saddens me so, particularly since I think of you as my own son. Demeter, mournful goddess of the land. Mother of the beautiful Persephone, who inherited much of Gaia's disposition. I urge you to share your boundless motherly love with humans other than myself. I have no need of it.
Oh my.
But there can be no children without mothers, nor can children grow without love and nourishment. There are things I want to say, but okay, you know what? Something. I'll take your nourishment. Yada yada yada. You know what I'm. You know. You know.
Gods and humans are the same in this respect. Humans.
This new intelligent species still barely older than a newborn babe.
This precious,
Fragile intelligence we met on this planet.
I love you all truly.
Do you not see the red flags? I don't see any red flags. I don't know. Now, if you mean the red flag in that she basically said that he could destroy their mechanical bodies single-handedly, then yeah, that's a little bit concerning. But when it comes to her, I don't see any red flags.
I love you as though you were my own children. And I love you too, Kashtaria.
In the same way you love Persephone. Why, yes, you know, Zeus is absolutely right. All I see is green and white and black and bronze-ish. Gold, maybe. I don't see any, well, some red flowers here and, you know, here, but, aside from that, no red here. There's nothing that brings a mother like me more joy than to see her children grow up strong and happy.
Which is why there's nothing I wouldn't do to make that happen.
I would take an arrow for my children. I would gladly give up my body, my life, and my Aletheia for them. Truly.
Then I'll take what you would, Demeter.
And trust that you truly bear a mother's love.
As a matter of fact,
Zeus's ideas of the restoration of mythology are closer to your own notions than to mine.
Kashtaria, what are you saying?
Do you mean that Olympus, the heart of our lost belt's not the ideal you see?
Of course it is. We only differ when it comes to our endpoints. You see, I believe that the gods should be even stronger than they are now.
How much stronger do you want them to be? Because they're already pretty freaking strong, so I don't know. I don't know how they could push it any further, really. But, okay.
And let me tell you one more thing. This is the single most important piece of information about the gods of Olympus I have to share. The king of this lost belt is Zeus, an all-powerful god who naturally still possesses his original mechanical body. He has existed ever since the Age of Gods, just like Skadi from the Scandinavian Lost Belt.
How do they know about the other lost belts?
It looks like this is information we already knew. Zeus, an omnipotent god who has continued to exist for millennia. If we are to take his omnipotent nature at face value, then we would seem to be well and truly outmatched. And yet Mr. AI,
I cannot imagine that the electricity expert whose visage you now borrow
would waste his time challenging an opponent whom he truly has no hope of defeating.
Ha ha ha. You cut right to the heart of things, don't you?
Still I can hardly blame you for interrupting, Mr. Holmes.
You have every right to be concerned. And you're correct. Your hope of defeating Zeus is small. Perhaps even infinitesimal. But it does exist. Zeus is indeed almighty, but he is not truly omnipotent.
Foe?
So he can do all sorts of things, but he can't do everything.
You catch on quickly. Yes, that's exactly right. As king of the gods, Zeus possesses authority over infinite things, but conceptually he does not possess infinite authority. We believe that Zeus turned into a nigh omnipotent god by synchronizing all of the Titans' authority with his own, followed by the many lesser gods' authority, and ultimately, even his fellow 12 Olympians' authority. That much, at least, would seem to be a matter of little doubt. But conceptually, he is not truly omnipotent.
and so does not have control over all things and beings in this world. At least, that's our working theory.
I see. Do you happen to have anything to support that theory?
Of course. The very Alliance base you're standing in right now. Yeah, you know, if he knew about this, he would have just be like, BAM! Just, yeah, we wouldn't be standing here talking right now if this place was known about.
The underground infrastructure.
Precisely. A truly omnipotent being would have known about villains like us lurking underground the instant we set foot in here. And yet he has no awareness of this underground infrastructure. This was the domain of Hades, his fellow god, and he doesn't even bother to look at it. From this we can surmise that the gods of Olympus are conceptual deities, like those from other mythologies. And simultaneously, that they depend on Clarinomia, their authority-like functionality from the enormous mechanical bodies they use as ships to cross the Sea of Stars. That is where our chance of defeating Zeus lies. For if we are up against a nigh-omnipotent king of gods with authority over infinite things, rather than a truly omnipotent god, then you should have a chance, however minuscule, of defeating him.
Thank you, Mr. AI. This has been both informative and hope-inspiring. Fo-fo-fo!
Alright, let's get back to business. Though that said, the only business that remains is the information we have pertaining to Zeus, the omnipotent king of gods, head of the 12 Olympians and victor of all 4 Machia, has formed a contract with Kirstaria as his equal. Well, bet you had no idea about that, did you? Well, I mean, us, the player, did.
Fo-fo!
Kirstaria formed a contract not with a divine spirit, but a god?
But that shouldn't even be possible. Granted, there's no way to test that for sure, given that gods don't exist in our own time. But theoretically speaking, forming a contract as equals is... Okay, hang on. Let me make sure I've got all this straight.
You're saying this Kirstaria guy formed a contract not with a divided spirit, but with an actual god, right? Oh. No, I am dropping frames. Ooh, that was weird. Probably someone using Netflix or something, if I had to guess on my network. Okay, it seems to have evened out. It should be okay now. I don't know, now it's showing I'm not dropping frames anymore. Okay, we're good? Okay.
Formed a contract not with a divided spirit, but with an actual god, right? And not just any god, but a demiurge that's as big a deal as the Vairocana? Full marks, Miss Miyamoto. In fact, from an esoteric Buddhist perspective, it was a truly perfect answer.
That's right. Zeus is neither a divine spirit that returned to nature, nor a divided spirit. He is a proper almighty god. And Kirstaria Bodam has formed a contract with him. It puts him on completely equal footing with Zeus as his sworn friend, no less.
Holy cow! That's the kind of mage you guys have been up against? Yeah!
You should have... Actually, wait, she did see what it... No, she was gone by the time that happened, right? Was her teleporting into Olympus before or after? No, it was before, because that was the very beginning of Atlantis. Yeah, so she didn't see what Kirstaria did to us in like section 19 or whatever it was. Yeah, that's... He's pretty crazy.
That's the kind of mage you guys have been up against?
That's right. Not that we managed to stand against him for very long.
Wodheim's been clear about his goal from the beginning. We're about to fill this world with inhuman mystic secrets. We'll restore the Age of Gods. And if this Atlantic Lost Belt ends up becoming the new proper timeline, that goal will pretty much be fulfilled. He formed that contract with Zeus to be certain this Lost Belt's Tree of Emptiness would grow bigger as soon as possible. But even with all that said, there's something that doesn't add up. A Lost Belt needs its Tree of Emptiness to maintain its existence. But that doesn't change the fact that as far as the Lost Belt's king is concerned,
It's a hindrance. Or not hindrance, but something that binds them.
that Tree of Emptiness is something strange and entirely foreign. But Zeus had no problem with this. I'm sure he and Wodheim came to some kind of secret agreement about it. But at this point, I can't see what their endgame could be. Fofo? Keep that furball away from me, would you? I never liked it, even when I was at Chaldea.
That's kind of fucked up. And rude.
Foe? Easy there, Foe. It's okay. Phew.
Maybe Caddick could like instinctually tell it was a beast. I don't know.
Alright, Mash. This is the last time I have to tell you. If you want to see Wodheim, you can find him in the Great Orbital Shrine Olympia Dodona. That's where you'll find Zeus, too.
Hey Caddick, if you want to come back to Chaldea, that's not gonna work.
What, if you finally snapped, Ritsuka?
I might not be a cryptor anymore. That doesn't mean I want to go back to Chaldea.
I can't trust either side, and I'm sick of being somebody else's pawn. If I'm gonna fight back, I'm gonna do it on my own terms. So much more badass doing it like that anyway.
You care about looking badass, huh? Anastasia'd probably say the same thing if she was still alive. Oh yeah, about that. We actually summoned Anastasia if you want to see her. Well, I mean, I haven't summoned her, but like, I assume canonically she's in Chaldea at this point. Or Novum Chaldea, that is. So, you know, if you'd like to see her, you know, it's not the same one, obviously. Probably doesn't remember you. But you could, you know, try and cozy up to her.
Alright, that's it for me. I'm getting out of here. I've said everything I wanted, and gotten everything I needed out of being the collaborator's lackey. I doubt we'll ever see each other again. That'll really depend on you guys.
My money on who the collaborator is still Muramasa, though.
Eric. See you around, Mash. Just make sure you don't stick with the losing team there for too long. You felt for yourself how strong those gods were, right? Well, Zeus and Wodheim are even stronger. If I were you, Chaldeans, I'd take a good long think about how you want to spend the rest of your lives. If you do survive long enough, make sure you go see Wodheim.
Hey. I wonder if we could... No, probably not. I was gonna say, if we could, like... speak to Wodheim and get him to... Because I don't know. What we've seen of Wodheim, he really doesn't... Like, yeah, obviously his goal is fucked up, you know, wipe out proper human history and instill a new age of gods, etc. But... everything we've seen of him, he really doesn't seem like a bad guy. He's the bad guy, but not a bad guy. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, a fighting node, berserkers. Like, he is bad guy, but not a bad guy.
You know.
Oh,
You know. I thought I would tail him for a bit to see where he's going.
but he lost me pretty quickly.
Too bad.
Man, turning invisible and then a rapid movement ability is a hell of a spell combo. It might not technically be teleportation, but it sure feels like it.
Maybe he's using talismans and mystic codes the Skirstaria gave him or something?
Maybe. You were tailing Caddick just now? Oh, well, of course. How could I not after he tried to run off like that? You mean did run off. Incidentally, I attempted to tail him as well, with equally dismal results. Haha. I suppose we should have known he wouldn't make it that easy for us. Yeah, he made it pretty clear he wanted nothing to do with us. Outside of using us as a distraction, really.
And that being said, I believe the information Cadix and Olympus shared with us is trustworthy enough
to use in determining our next course of action.
After all, he would have little reason to lie to us except for personal revenge.
Well, he certainly has cause to desire vengeance on us, taking into account his manner of speech, facial expressions, tone of voice, and what he told us. We get it. Enough with the deduction shtick already.
Basically, we have to make our way to Kashtaria, just like Cadix said, right?
And eventually, you guys have to cut down this tree of emptiness these insanely powerful super beings are defending. Yeah, pretty much. Boy, talk about playing on hard mode.
This is gonna be a fun challenge.
Oh. Since this collaborator person's good enough to support this underground society here, I figured it'd make our lives a lot easier if I could make contact with them. But it looks like that's not happening anytime soon.
So, what's our next step? Great Orbital Shrine Olympia Dodona.
If that enormous floating building is acting as the gods in Kashtaria's base of operations, then our next step should be figuring out how we're going to get to it. Yeah, can we fly? Like, yeah, I don't know how we're gonna get there.
We could try to get there on the border through a series of
zero sails, but even if Zeus's Thunderbolts somehow missed us while we were preparing, it wouldn't take long for the other gods and soldiers to overwhelm us with sheer force of numbers. Huh?
There we go.
What? Did you just do something, Macarios?
Oh, that? I was just defrosting something.
Defrosting what? Like frozen food or something?
So proper human history is frozen foods too, huh? I never knew that. But this isn't food. It's something way better.
Go on.
Ritsuka, we'd like to officially ask you to join
Join the God Destroyer Alliance. Sure, why not? We want you to come fight with us.
You want to go to the Great Orbital Shrine, right? And you also need to cut down the Tree of Emptiness, Magellan. That's even farther up past it, right? Then we should be able to help you with both goals. We have ways of traveling through airspace here. Furthermore, the Great Orbital Shrine is the God's throne. It's forbidden for humans to set foot in there. They won't let you in without a fight.
But then you're gonna have to fight the gods anyway. Yeah. Doesn't really change much. I'd love for you two to fight with us.
We will. Magellan. Another galaxy name. Though I had suspected as much. We'd be honored to help you.
Okay. Oh, I just had a thought. Why don't we take this occasion to celebrate? You know, sure. We need all the joyousness we can get.
Oh, by celebration, do you mean yummy food? That's right. I made a pretty simple breakfast, but for a special occasion like this. Sister? Sorry to interrupt, but I need to use this thing while it's still freshly defrosted. Huh? Oh, I see. yes, you do, don't you?
So no yummy food just yet, huh? Bummer. Oh yeah, what was it you were defrosting anyway? It's something you might have seen before.
Here it comes.
The floor just opened up and something huge is coming up from underneath it. Huh?
Oh. Huh?
It looks just like the hostile entities we encountered in Atlantis a number of times.
It's a steel chimera.
An autonomous weapon made out of high-purity clarinomia. It used to serve the gods, but after Edison and Tesla made a number of adjustments to it, and Miss Blavatsky casting a spell to tame it, it now listens to us. It does a very good job, too. Oh!
Nemia, sit. As you can see, it's now this Alliance base's trusty guardian. So next up...
So it was frozen? Why was it... We're going to use it to see how strong you guys are! Oh, of course! Oh, right, yeah. Alright. Never mind, okay. We killed Artemis and Poseidon. Now, never mind that. We have to be tested, huh? I guess technically with Artemis it was Orion with a Hephaestus made divine construct longbow who killed her, but we beat Poseidon.
We're gonna use it to see how strong you guys are. I trust you're okay with that?
I guess.
Yep.
Figured something like this was coming. Nah, get back here, Holmes.
Oh, no you don't.
Where'd all that big talk from earlier go, huh? Surely you're not about to say your Baritsu is no match for a little demonic beast, are you? Of course it is. I said Baritsu was a highly versatile martial art, and I stand by that. But that doesn't mean that using it to fight a creature like this isn't quite simply a pain in the posterior. Fair.
You two really get along, huh? Anyway, we can back you guys up with artillery mystic codes,
But we don't know that much when it comes to sword fighting.
it's true.
So we were hoping we could all count on all of you to handle the melee combat, if you don't mind.
Nah, you'll be fine, right, Mash? I mean, you've got that giant shield and everything. Oh, me?
Sorry, Mash. Looks like it's emergency transformation time.
Right, Master.
Just, give me a few minutes, please, if you all wouldn't mind. Alright, she needs time to pull stuff on. She can't just transform like she used to.
Emergency transformation complete. Setting output to 70%. Preparing to intercept combat training target.
Why do they gotta put us through this shit, man? We already have stuff to deal with, like fighting gods. So fucked up. So fucked up. Were we formation locked? I don't think so, right? Yeah, okay. Locusta in. To battle. Alright, bring it on, Chimera. We'll show you what the strength of proper human history can do. I thought you said that was only one of them. Shaking my head. Liars. How dare you lie to us? Macarios, Adele. What did we ever do to you, huh? Ow. Locusta, why you gotta scream like that.
褒美をやろう
That was
と
entirely
くと見とれよ
unnecessary.
我の力を見よ
君に全チップをかけよう
Alright,
頼むぞ
I should
望
probably
みの恋に我が
kill that
舌を喜
front
ば
one.
す
Oh yeah.
オラオラオラ
Yeah.
そこだな
Oh yeah. Goddamn. Yeah.
おっと
Do these things have dragon trait? Why did Draco do that much without the Roman trait being applied to it?
Interesting.
ご要望とあらば
Interesting.
おじゃ不愉快です
切り込むおっと
They might with the snake tail. Maybe.
よかろう
オーケー
荒ぶる獣の抱擁を
Yeah, she does a weird amount of damage.
ベイバロンドムス・アウレアよ砕け
Anyway.
ラウスティラのクラウディウス我が情熱は豪華のごとく存分に褒めよ
Or maybe
Such
Merlin's
the-
Buster Up is just that insane. Actually, I think I always say this whenever I use Merlin. I think his Buster Up actually is just absurd.
That's enough. Okay, Nemia, you can rest now.
Oh, I'm glad we didn't injure it too badly. Steel Chimeras are going... Okay. Are going back into their underground storage hangar.
The battle's over, Master. You?
I never would have thought the Chimera would divide itself like that. Is it just me, Miss Miyamoto? Or were you not taking this especially seriously?
Looks like you guys really are strong. You've obviously had a lot of experience fighting up close.
Even be servant while beast, okay. Yeah, I think it's just that I always forget how crazy Merlin's Buster effectiveness skill is.
That means you ought to be able to go toe-to-toe with the Royal Guard.
50% Buster up and 100%. Right, yeah, so because she crit with a Buster card, it was just like boom, 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 boom. Right.
Ought to be able to go toe-to-toe with the Royal Guard. But it's still not enough to beat the gods.
Yeah, no, probably not.
So we're going to use Tesla, Edison, and Blavatsky's parting gifts.
Oh, why are you looking all shy?
That's right, they left us a number of machines and a few different plans of attack to use.
These God-slaying blades are the best tools the God Destroyer Alliance can offer you. God-slaying blades, you say? Adele, you're hurt! I didn't even notice the blood.
Huh?
Oh, this? I guess I must have gotten a hit when Nemia's shards went flying.
Don't worry, he'll be fine. She's bleeding from her right arm.
We have to stop it. I think they'll be fine.
It's okay, she'll be fine. In fact, this is a good chance to show you something. Just stand back and watch.
Oh?
Your injury is healing itself.
It still hurts, but the wound is gone now. The Demeter Clarinomia? By tomorrow, there won't be a trace of pain left.
So it's really okay, you don't have to worry.
Oh.
You can burn us, shatter us, tear us apart.
It doesn't matter, we'll always go back to our perfect forms.
That's right, we never change, no matter what happens to us.
Any injury we suffer heals itself.
That's how we've been remade. Thanks to the ambrosia, the Demeter Clarinomia they regularly give us to maintain our bodies. No citizen of Olympus will ever get sick. We're practically immortal now. No one can die, no one can kill. The gods are the only exception. They're the only ones with the power to kill us.
I'm sorry, I think I may have misheard you a moment ago. No, you didn't mishear. Did you just say you were practically,
Immortal? Yes, Mr. Curiolite. He did indeed say that. I presume that means that as long as the god's authority remains, you and the other people of Olympus will even come back from death. That's right.
Come back from death.
Immortality.
The one thing humanity has continued to long for since time immemorial.
The ultimate goal of countless technologies, not to mention Beechcraft.
And here it's just a fact of life. Just how advanced is Olympian civilization compared to ours? A lot.
So every injury anyone gets heals automatically, and they never even have to fear death. It's damn impressive, that's for sure. I can't even imagine what it would be like to live like that.
Oh.
I knew the city had achieved long, healthy lives for citizenry, but I never would have thought it had also found a way to bring them back from death. Never mind Utopia. This place seems to be more akin to heaven, our collective idea of a blissful life after death. It almost strikes me as a calculated plan to forcefully evolve all of humanity into the realm of gods. Good gracious, I can only imagine the look on Qin Shi Huang's face if they were to hear about this.
So if Olympians can even come back from death, does that mean that soldier we fought is still alive? Probably.
Right, now you mention it.
That reserve soldier we first fought after the alarm was sounded was...
He was dead. I killed him myself.
And now that you mention it, there was something strange about it. Even after I dealt the killing blow, I didn't feel as if I'd really won. Damn, you can just tell? I guess him not actually dying would explain it.
He didn't die. None of us can be killed here. Inflicting death is a power only the gods have. By this point, that soldier will have come back to life and started thinking of ways to get his revenge. Well, we're on the subject. I might as well tell you this, too. Even if we stop taking ambrosia like me and sister have, the clarinomia inside our bodies will continue to function. So we'll always be like this. Forever.
Forever? Oh?
That's right, forever. Immortality is, well, eternal. Ever since that day the gods bestowed ambrosia on us eons ago, we've always looked exactly like this.
So those children we met, probably age-wise, definitely weren't children? So you don't just have eternal life, you have eternal youth too. Which makes me wonder, is there even anyone under the age of like 500 here? Or are they all, like, have they just stopped, you know, doing the do entirely?
That's right. We've been alive for a long time. A very, very long time. We'll never reach adulthood. We both stopped growing long, long ago.
The adults are all happy that we're still children. They say children are weak and should be protected, so we should just let them and the gods take care of us and be grateful for it.
Never mind that we passed adult age a long time ago.
Yeah, it's kinda...
Now I see. Well, many Olympians may be fine with this enforced stagnation. The two of you are not. And while the gods may have succeeded at preserving happiness at the level of a society, it seems they were unable to extend their control to individual emotions. Truly fascinating. Very well. That at least makes clear why you two have chosen to rebel against the gods and assist us. But before we go any further, there's one thing I would like to confirm with you. Alright. Fine with me. As you know, we are from Chaldea, a group of beings from proper human history. Our victory here would mean the end of this entire lost build. Do you understand what that means? If we succeed at cutting down this tree of emptiness, everything here, Olympus, the gods, and all the many people, including you two, will disappear. No exceptions. Even knowing that, do you still wish to fight by our side?
Yeah, what about it?
So... Yeah, we do. We don't need to keep living the same day over and over forever. We want to see a new tomorrow. Even if it means we end up dying for it. Oh no. Oh, please don't be sad, Mash.
We've spent an entire century thinking this through from every possible angle.
And this is what we decided. We want to see tomorrow, a real tomorrow. A day that's different from the one that came before. Something more than just another today.
We've already lived more than enough. Now get in the water.
For countless lifetimes. Do you have any idea how old I am? Well, I remember everyone in Atlantis that had a lifespan of at least a few hundred years. So I would guess maybe twice that, or several times. A few hundred years, huh?
The gods' protection must have worn pretty thin for them.
I'm jealous. Back during the Fourth Machia, we were actually supposed to go to Atlantis ourselves. Along with all the other people who supported the faction that wanted coexistence between gods and humans. But what happened was... we missed the last boat. And we'll never have another chance since the gods don't allow any of us to leave the city. Whoa, hold up.
The Fourth Machia was the war between the gods. Didn't that happen something like several thousand years ago? Yeah. Indeed it did. So you guys are saying you're a few thousand years old?
No, we're not.
10,000? I'd say we've been alive for about 10,000 years.
Huh? That's right. 10,000 years.
Plus a few centuries. 10,000? Huh? I'm surprised they're sane, to be honest. Like, I feel like it's a common trope where people who live more than a couple hundred years tend to go a bit cuckoo. I mean, that's how it was for Zoken, right? Like, didn't he, like, well, because what, he, in FSN, he's what, 450 or whatever? 460? Oh yeah, I did drop another 600 frames. Well, at least OBS isn't fully disconnecting, so that's better. I'll take some dropped frames over full disconnect, reconnect, I guess. Yeah, and FSN Zukin was like 460 or something, and yeah, Zukin's supposed to be mad from the pain of the soul rot. Oh yeah, and the ambrosia or Demeter Clarinomia probably doesn't only protect the body but the soul as well, so that makes sense why they wouldn't have that problem.
We're citizens of Olympus.
They're actively working towards the end of their world. Remove the context and tell me, does that say? I guess not. But you also have to, you know, like, yeah, it sounds awful, you know, out of context, but in context with everything they've been through and how they have to live their life, I wouldn't say is unreasonable.
We're the gods' beloved playthings, kept in their eternal cradle. Ever since the day the gods built this city. We've been stuck living here forever. That's right. For over 10,000 years. We've been forced to live millions upon millions of versions of essentially the same day. Never getting to set one foot outside the city's limits. Never getting to grow or change. For 10,000 years, we've been utterly stagnant.
Yeah, no, I probably wouldn't want to live like that either. Yes, who knows? Hard to say. Oh, wardrobe unlocked. Orton Axe refurbished. Did she get new knee pads? What changed? Oh, no visor. Sorry, we see her, like, dialogue sprite without the visor so often I didn't even realize that was different. Okay. Yeah. Let me see Mash here real quick. Oh, I guess 4-star shielder. I don't know why I had to put the 4-star in. Okay. Yeah, I guess I like it better without the visor. I still prefer to use this as her card image, though. Alright. Anyway, I guess that's that. We spent 2 whole sections just pretty much just talking. You know, it was all just set up and seeing Demeter act mothery. You know, putting in context with how Macarios and Adele describe their lives, I can kind of and then putting that into context with Demeter's personality that we've seen so far, I can see why that might be a red flag with her. Like, she just wants to protect them, but at what cost, right? Like, she's just not allowing them to change or grow or do anything. It's just constant infantilization for people who are 10,000 plus years old. It, yeah, I could, yeah. Yeah. It's probably... not a great way to live or, you know, be treated. But yeah, one thing that I'm waiting to come up again, because I assume it probably will, is in Ritsuka's dream, Helena said something about setting up, summoning points? So we should actually be able to summon 2 servants. Supposedly. So I imagine that will come back up, because I can't imagine that line would just be in Ritsuka's dream sequence for no good reason. So I imagine that will probably come up again. But, you know, we won't find out for a while, because, like I said, starting tomorrow, we're going to be doing Lilum Harlot, so this will be put on hold for like 2 weeks. So that's going to be, that'll be great. I mean, I guess I could... Nah, I kind of want to focus on one at a time, so... Yeah, this will probably be on hold while we're doing Lilum Harlot. Yeah. Yeah, probably. But... That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. But yeah, I'll show you, man, about... Yeah, see this. I saw when the year started and I saw this, I was like, Kanik is, yeah. He's I don't know why they decided to throw Kanik on there. Like, did they not consider the consequences of new players, like how they could potentially, yeah. Okay, it's just not loading. Okay, sure, whatever. Anyway, nothing wants to load apparently. There we go. But yeah, here we go. Yep. Spellproof world. Lilum Harlot arose without ovation. Revival. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this, because I want to know more, you know, I want to know more about Drake. I probably should also look into maybe because there's probably videos covering the events of Arcade, right? Maybe I should do like a watch through of some those. No? Really? No one's... Like, I know there are arcade cabinets or whatever, but I figured someone would make, like, videos covering, like, what the general story is, I would think. You underestimate the bare bonesness of arcade? Maybe, yeah, maybe. I thought there'd be like some, but is it literally just... I don't know. Well, anyway, I'm still looking forward to this. This will still be... It should be a good, interesting experience. And of course, Tiamat in about a week. I should have 3 10 pulls by then. Hopefully that's enough. It probably won't be. But We can hope that won't be the case. Let me transform those. I think in multi-blood arcade mode, but all you have is like 2 character chats before the final 2 fight. Oh. Yeah. I mean, all the more reason for them to like port it to PC, right? Because there's not much they need to translate. You know? But yeah, they'll probably never do that. It's a shame. Japan has a bad habit of, or the Japanese video game industry, or I guess the video game industry in general, really, has a bad habit of allowing a lot of things to become lost media, which is sad. But you know, it's that prerogative. It's just unfortunate. And speaking of multi-blood, I actually have the waiting room up for it, but I'm gonna be starting that on I think I have it set for the 20th? I think it's the 20th. Type Lumina, that is, obviously, because I played the other ones already. But type Lumina on like the 20th. So that should be fun. I'm so interested to see what the like Saber and Mash and Ushiwakamaru and Monte Cristo roots have in store, because I'm like, what the hell are they doing here? Yeah, I got all the DLCs. Very legitimately, might I add. Definitely, very legitimately, for sure. Definitely, yeah. But yeah, everything's working. Controller works with the totally legit version. I've been doing some versus battles, getting myself ready. Well, as ready as I can be. Just so I don't, you know, make too much of a fool of myself when I get started. But, you know, we'll be alright. But anyway, I guess I'm gonna quit, you know, yapping on. So I guess we're gonna cut it off there. Like I said though, Olympus is gonna be... Did you try the tutorials? No, I kinda just went straight into the versus mode against CPUs. And did trial by fire, I guess. But I probably should check out the actual tutorials, just so I make sure I have a firm grasp on everything. That'd probably be a not too bad idea. Yeah, we should be fine. I've been practicing against level 4 CPUs. Well, I started at 3, but I moved up to 4, and I've had mixed results. Like, I do pretty well with Shiki, but like, I tried testing Arkwid, and I don't know why. Shiki I did fine, but when I was testing like Arkwid, I was getting bodied by the level 4 CPU. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Yeah. I slowly got better, but like, I don't know. I guess maybe I grinded trying to learn Shiki so much that when I swapped to someone else, I just didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I don't know. Something like that. I also gave Saber and Mash one trial battle each. They're interesting. But I didn't use them too much. Yeah, I'm excited for that. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. Like I said, Little Harlot tomorrow, and again, Olympus will be on hold for like 2 weeks probably. However long it takes me to finish Little Harlot, which Little Harlot will be, aside from tomorrow because that's the first day, after that will be every other day. Just because not many like characters, letters compared to like other like the Summer 6 event, so want to make sure I have enough to do a full-length stream rather than, you know, like an hour and a half every day. Which, you know, doesn't sound that bad, but yeah, no, we have it set for every other day, so that should be fine. But yeah, anywho, thank you guys for watching, and yeah, catch you later.